everyone, and welcome to Steelbook Obsessed. I didn't know I was going to do that. Let's start over. My name is Jake, and the reason why I'm talking like a little gremlin man is because I just got done watching Rumpelstiltskin, baby. I have not a big history with Rumpelstiltskin, but definitely a core memory of this movie. I am a child of the video store rental days, and I distinctly remember walking down the main kids section, and like an aisle over from the kids section was the horror movie section. And I distinctly remember the poster, the original VHS poster artwork for Rumpelstiltskin scared the ever-loving crap out of me. I was such a scaredy cat as a child. I kind of wish I would have watched it back in the day because I wouldn't have been scared anymore. This movie is equal parts horror and humor. It's very lighthearted. I had a good time with it. I thought it was a very enjoyable romp of a movie. It's a movie that you can enjoy with a few whatever you want to down, whether it be some nice weedy water, some nice alcoholic beverages, some nice juice boxes if you just want to like sit back and chill. I had a very fun time with Rumpelstiltskin, but that's not really what we're talking about today. I will post my Letterboxd review right up here, but I'm going to give you my review of every single ounce of this release. I just created a new scoring system. I go over three main elements that I really look for in my physical media: transfer and sound, packaging, and special features. I will give you my thoughts on every single one of those. If this sounds interesting to you, please give this video a like, give the channel a subscription. It would be very much appreciated. And I put out a lot of physical media releases. I'm trying to put out as many as I can this year, trying to hit around 100. I hit the 10 mark for January. So if there are good physical media releases like Rumpelstiltskin, I'm hoping I can hit that number. But let's waste no more time and start talking a little bit more about the movie and then getting into the transfer and sound qualities of everything. What I did learn from this movie is that the director of this movie also directed this movie. Rumpelstiltskin and Leprechaun are made by the same man. Kind of makes a lot of sense when you think about it. I did not like the first Leprechaun, like, at all. I didn't like it so much. This steelbook is of the 7-film collection of Leprechaun, and I love how it's not like stack packed. It's got like a nice divider in between. I only got to the first movie and I'm like, no, I'm done. I'm tapping out here. I don't know if I can sit through 6 more movies. The first movie just was not my cup of tea. I've heard that there are some good entries within the franchise. If you know of any good Leprechaun movies, let me know in the comments. But that's why I'm happy to report that if you are not a fan of the Leprechaun franchise, specifically the first one, because that's the only one I've seen, I still think Rumpelstiltskin is worth a shot. It knows that it's silly. There are evil baby stealing plot points in this movie. There are also little men driving motorcycles and semi-trucks. Like there's a lot of fun to be had. There's a car chase in a truck, and then that car chase kind of extends into a go-kart track, go-kart versus semi race. Like it's race and chase. It's a very fun tongue-in-cheek time. I feel like the more people you watch this movie with, the more fun you will have with it. It's definitely got that vibe of a movie. But if we're gonna go into transfer and sound now, I have to say this is released on 4K, and I don't think it utilized a lot of what the 4K transfer can really provide, because this movie was never meant to be in 4K. This movie got a very limited theatrical release. It only got released in like 300 theaters, but this movie feels like it was shot for made on video, and the transfer, to me, I did not think it looked really that great at all. So I didn't really know this until I started watching it and kind of looking up some stats on it. When I hit pause on my 4K player, it actually shows every single bit of like information on the disc. And this sucker does not have Dolby Vision. It has HDR10. And I have come to learn about myself that I'm a big Dolby Vision fan. The 4K didn't pop the way that I really wanted it to. Some scenes looked fantastic. Some scenes looked like they were ripped from like a DVD era of this movie, even though I don't think this movie ever got released on DVD, or if it did, it was a very small, limited quantity that's been sold out forever. I know it got the VHS release. I even popped in the Blu-ray of this release to kind of compare the Blu-ray and the 4K. And honestly, after watching that, the 4K does look better, but I still don't think the 4K is really up to snuff picture quality wise. I was wanting a lot more, I guess, even though it's a silly 90s camp horror movie. I still want it to look as best as possible, and I don't really think it fit in that department that well. There's no Dolby Atmos in this either. It's like 2.1 sound quality, which again, I don't know how much money it really costs to kind of put a transfer of audio in from 2.1 to 5.1. At least give us 5.1. I mean, the sound never in this movie really sung to me. It never knocked my socks off. It never gave me my setup here. I have a sound bar with the subwoofer. It never really gave me any quality audio pops, and I'm always looking for that. So if I had to rate the transfer in sound of Rumpelstiltskin, I'm gonna go like a 6 out of 10. It did not knock my socks off whatsoever. The 4K is better than the Blu-ray, of course. But again, this is the first time release on 4K and Blu-ray. I was just hoping that the transfer was a little bit better. 6 out of 10 in that department. But what I can say is that we're going to go over all of the packaging of Rumpelstiltskin, and boy howdy did TerraVision really go above and beyond in this department. This edition that I'm holding right now is unfortunately sold out. There's a standard edition still available on TerraVision.com that has like 1,000 copies left of the original 2,000 copy run that they made for it. But it has a hard slipcover box, which is very, very nice. Akin to, I would say, a Vinegar Syndrome release kind of the sort. It's a little bit thicker than like their normal box sets are, but it's nice. It's very, very nice. Here is the slipcover as well. Very minimalistic drawings on here, but kind of reminds me of a fairy tale book that you would read. So that's nice. This is the back of the slipcover that I'm showing you first, but he's driving away in the motorcycle. Very funny scene. I like that one so much. Flip it over here, and you got Mr. Rumple over by the gravestone. Just very, I like the design on this a lot, but you slip this sucker off, and you get, slipped off the wrong way. You get the poster, the VHS artwork that haunted my dreams. You get this, or not, I guess my dreams when I was a child, yes. You get it popping out here on the 4K. Love this imagery so much. If you go and pick up whatever stock is left in TerraVision, the slipcover is not this. The slipcover is this design, and this design, this cover is on the actual packaging of the release. But this sucker, like, I thought that this weighed a lot because it was in a big, nice box set like this. Even without the slipcover on it, this weighs more than your average 4K release, because this sucker is not only packed with extras, it's packed with goodies, it's packed with discs, and that's exactly what you want to see. It's a 3-disc set. You get the 4K right here. You get the Blu-ray. Again, both discs are original artwork, which I absolutely love. The 3rd disc is the soundtrack. I don't think this is included in the standard release. I'm a big soundtrack guy. But I'm a big vinyl soundtrack guy. I can't remember the last time I popped in an actual CD in the CD player. God, it would have to be PS3 times, PS2 maybe. I remember just seeing all the visuals playing whenever I played any music, just hanging out like that. That was the good times. I did not have a care in the world. I was just listening and thinking that the world is terrible. All of those fun childish angst. But this sucker comes with a lot of releases, or a lot of goodies inside of the release. It comes with 2 booklets. This is more essays from the movie. This came not in the actual packaging, but I was able to slip this booklet into this release like so. I'm not a big reader of making of material here, but if you are, there is a ton of greatness in here. We have director Mark Jones talking about the movie on its 25th anniversary. There's a lot of essays. Again, I probably will not read any of these. Spinning with Fate, Rumpelstiltskin and the Decline of Female Productivity. Excuse me? Is this a college essay of sorts? Very random, but if you're a fan and you want to get your literature fix with Rumpelstiltskin, be my guest for sure. We also have some more goodies inside of the box. I got quick hands, people. Quick hands! We got another booklet. This is essays from the movie, not more essays. That's in the actual release. In the box, we have essays about the movie. Rumpelstiltskin Forward by Mark Jones, the director. That's always nice to see. This is a long one too. This Ain't No Fairy Tale by Alexandra Heller Nicholas. Again, I'm not going to read any of these. Am I a asshole? The grown-ups as the villain in fairy tales. The grown-ups as the villain in fairy tales. Stealing children. It's not great. Here's a good shot of Rumpel on the bike. Absolutely love that with the director right here, right behind him. Great imagery there. Why I've watched Rumpelstiltskin more times than perhaps anyone else in history. So if you're an ultra fan of this movie, that might be a good one to read. There's also a promotion of TerraVision. Ooh, we get creep coins. I thought they got rid of these. This is kind of cool that the creep coins are back. Am I ever going to do anything with creep coins? I don't know. You got to collect at least 10 to get anything. Any TerraVision cassette of your choosing. 12 coins gives you a t-shirt. I would much rather have a t-shirt than a cassette. Then 15 coins gives you a Blu-ray. I would save up to 15 coins. And then we could go down the list. There's a ton of stuff on here, including like subscriptions to their Blu-ray club. That's kind of cool. But that's 100 coins. That's a ton of money to drop. I don't know. I also made a video about subscription services for physical media stuff. I kind of miss that. I like any type of like movie related subscription box. I really am a big fan of. I'm a fan of this poster, and I love how it's just the original theatrical. I love how it says 2024 Ultra HD release. I actually found the original poster artwork in the wild at my local hobby shop. I sent it over to Garrett from Born to Be Rad because he is a huge mega fan of this movie, and I knew he was excited about this release in particular. So I sent that his way, but on the original poster artwork, it was touting like the 1996 theatrical run, I want to say. Something of that nature. So it's cool that they're kind of changing out the banner artwork right there. And then last, actually there's two things left. We have a postcard of sorts that has the Rumpelstiltskin fairy tale folklore right there. Can I? Okay, no nudity on there. That's good. And then a fortune teller fish plastic baggie of sorts. Place fish in palm of the hand, and its movement will indicate. So it's a fortune teller, of course. That plays a big role in this movie. So packaging wise, they put a lot of stuff in here, a lot of booklet material, which again, I feel like is more filler than anything. It's nice that it's there, but I'd also be okay if it wasn't there. But I think just the amount of discs on this sucker, the packaging alone, I absolutely adore. The slipcover artwork is great. There's not a lot of nitpicks that I can give this. For packaging, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. I think they knocked it completely out of the park. And even if you do just get the slipcover version, I think there's still enough in here to be completely satisfied with. And last, but for me certainly not least, we have the special features on the disc. And I'm happy to report that there are new special features because there have never been any special features for this release. But there is newly filmed interviews with a lot of the main people that you'd want to see, from the cast to the directors. There are two great making of documentaries in here. First, there is a making of with so many people. We have Mark Jones. We have the guy who played Rumpelstiltskin. We have the main actress. We have the funny side character. Like, there's a lot of great actors, makeup artists, a whole bunch of people in this making of. Had a great time watching it. It runs about 30 minutes, give or take, and I watched every single second of it and had a smile on my face the entire time. Seeing the person who played Rumpel talk about his process of making the way that, like, why he decided to act the way he did and like slouch down and kind of walk and hobble the way he did. Very, very fascinated. And to see him without the makeup, even as old as he is now compared to when he was here, there's a lot of behind the scenes footage also thrown in the mix of that documentary. Very, very good stuff. I've had Brad Henderson on my podcast Boutique Talk. He's the one who edited this new special feature. Brad, bravo. It was very, very good. Very, very solid. There's also a secondary making of documentary called Remembering Rumpelstiltskin that goes into remembering filming. It's more or less kind of the same thing you get with the making of, just through a different lens. That one's almost half an hour as well. It's like 25, 27 minutes. That one's also worth the price of admission alone. If you're a fan of the movie, you will want to see both of those. If you are not a fan of the movie, I would not pick this up, but I still think anytime I can get a behind the scenes look on how a movie gets made, how that magic gets processed through a lens, is just so fun for me to watch. There are also more special features on here, which for me didn't really work. One I'm kind of glad is on here, but personally I would never watch. They have raw behind the scenes footage. The documentary, like I said, sprinkles in some of this behind the scenes footage, but again, both making ofs only equal to about an hour. There's an hour and a half of raw behind the scenes footage it's pretty much just a vlog of what's going on today on set. It's fascinating that it's there. I'm glad it's included on the disc for anybody that wants to get a nice fix of 1996 nostalgia, a lot of outfits, a lot of just like seeing how the sausage is made in the movie making process as well. Again, fascinating. I only watched about half an hour of it. I got enough. I had enough after half an hour. There's also a baking show, Baking with Casey Hansen, the homicidal homemaker, Rumpelstiltskin edition. They put these baking segments on a lot of their releases, and they're not really my cup of tea, but it's something different. It's something unique. I always give them originality for that. I'm always asking why more boutique labels don't put YouTube content on its special features, and that's what this kind of felt like. It felt like a thing I would scroll on TikTok to see. It's only like 3 or 4 minutes. I like experimental special features like that. I think more companies should do that. Even if it's not my cup of tea, I'm happy that it's there. And then to round it out, we have a whole bunch of pictures, a still gallery. We have a trailer, which I'm always happy. I think every release, doesn't matter if it's big or small, should have the theatrical trailer to it. It just kind of cements how the movie was marketed during that time, and I always find that fascinating. I'm a lover of movie trailers. So special features wise, again, there's a couple that didn't work for me personally, but I'm still happy that they're there. I'm going to give the special features a 9 out of 10 as well. I think TerrorVision really knocked it out of the park with this release. And again, if you're a fan of this film, there's no reason why you should not own this in your collection. If this is a blind watch for you and you're a fan of mixing your horror with your humor, I would give Rumpelstiltskin a shot. I think it is a very, very fun time. Again, I gave it a 3 out of 5. It's not a movie that's going to blow your socks off, but it's one that you will enjoy while you are watching. And I hope you enjoyed this review while you were watching it, because I had a blast filming it. I had a blast watching this. And if you have seen this or grew up with this movie, let me know in the comments how Rumpelstiltskin invaded your life, your childhood. Thanks for watching, and until next time, I'll see ya. Rumpelstiltskin's gonna get ya. Hey everybody, if you made it this far, congratulations. You made it to the after credits scene. Good for you. Rumpel likes it. Rumpel likes it. My question to you is not about Rumpelstiltskin at all. If you watched early in this review, I talked about Leprechaun. I want to know in the comments what your favorite Leprechaun movie is in the franchise. This sucker has 7 films in there, and I think there's even another one in the mix. I'm curious about Leprechaun in the Hood, Leprechaun Back to the Hood, Leprechaun in Space always seems like a why, but all horror franchises always go to the sky and the space and beyond. I don't know. The first one is just not my cup of tea at all. From a couple of different YouTubers, I've talked with Ken and I heard from Christian, Leprechaun 3 is a good one to watch. Not sure why, not sure how. Absolutely love the snapper cases within these dividers. Why don't they do this more? Stop with the stack packs in these steelbook collections. Give me more snapper cases, please. They are the best. But let me know what Leprechaun movie you like best. And we're just gonna zoom in with the Leprechaun, that first movie. Woof. There's like a like an autistic guy, like a special. He's I don't know, but I was not a fan of that guy. He really drove me crazy in that first movie. Jennifer Aniston though, not bad. Leprechaun.